Hello friends, in last video we have already seen introductory part to Fourier series, but in this video we are going to see how to tackle numericals based on Fourier series. Let us begin. Question is displayed on the screen. It says get Fourier series for the following signal x of t. We know that if the given signal x of t is periodic in nature, then and then only a Fourier series is applicable. But whenever they ask you such question that you have to get a Fourier series, then you have to believe the given signal is by default a periodic signal. A periodic signal is that signal which starts with minus infinity, ends at plus infinity. In fact, it is what we called as a never ending signal. So this would be a continuous square wave towards plus infinity, and definitely from negative side it must have started with negative infinity. So in a way, the given x of t signal is a periodic in nature, and for which we have to get a Fourier series. Also by observation, you can say that the given signal x of t is an even signal. Am I right? You know that for signal to be even, this property must be satisfied, that is x of minus t should be equal to x of t. Only then the given x of t signal is said to be an even signal. So this is even signal. We are really not going to waste our time by applying that property, that is time reversal and everything. Just by observation, you know that whatever you see at right hand side, similar things you see on left hand side, that is a symmetry part I'm talking about, then the given signal is definitely an even signal. And you know that for even signal, value of Bn is by default 0. Only value of a0 and an may exist. For that we have to actually calculate, and we know that whenever the signal is an even signal, we don't have to really integrate it over a full period. We integrate it over a half period, and we just add twice of the original integration. That is, a0 value can be written as 2 by t, integrating over a half period. So let me say from 0 to t by 2, x of t dt. This is called as an average of the signal, or also called as DC part of the signal. And then we calculate an, which is 4 by t, again integrating over only half period, that is from 0 to t by 2, x of t cos n omega naught t dt. Is that right? And of course Bn value equal to 0, so we need not to really calculate it. So it is very much required that before you start solving the problem, first of all see whether the given signal is even signal or odd signal, because if you identify it, most of the things becomes easy, because you know that now Bn value is equal to 0. If you really don't realize it, and if you actually write the formula of Bn, and if you go on solving that, at the end definitely you will get Bn equal to 0, but then as I said, it keeps on wasting your time. Let us calculate a0 first. a0 is twice of this integration value, that is 0 to t by 2, x of t dt. But if you see from 0 to t by 2, so this is 0 to t by 4 actually, and then I can consider this time period as t by 2. So now from 0 to t by 2, value of x of t is not same. The value of x of t is 10 when t is between 0 to t by 4, and value of x of t is minus 10 between t by 4 to t, that is t by 2 to t by 4, or t by 4 to t by 2, you can say it is minus 10. So I need to divide this integration into two parts. First part or first integration will be from 0 to t by 4. So between 0 to t by 4, value of x of t is 10 dt plus, now you need to integrate it over t by 4 to t by 2, and value of x of t is minus 10 dt. Then a0 is equal to, so I can take this 10 out, it becomes 20 by t This is going to get integrate over 0 to t by 4. What we have over here, 1 dt plus, in fact I can take this negative sign out, becomes integration from t by 4 to t by 2, 1 dt. So value of a naught is now equal to 20 by t. So integration of 1 is t, lower limit is 0, upper limit is t by 4, minus, again we have an integration as t, lower limit t by 2, upper limit t by 4. Then a naught is equal to 20 by t. Let us solve first term by subtracting lower limit from higher limit. So t by 4 minus 0 is t by 4 itself, minus upper limit minus lower limit, that is t by 4 minus t by 2. It is 20 by t. This t by 4 as it is, negative sign. T by 4 minus t by 2 is t by 4 itself. So now t by 4 gets cancelled, which results in a naught value equal to 0. It means DC value of x of t is equal to 0, or I can conclude that there is no DC value inside x of t, right? Let us solve for an. An is 4 by t. Again we have to integrate it over 0 to t by 2 only. X of t cos of n omega naught t dt. Is that right? Then n is equal to 4 by t. We know that again we have to divide this integration into two parts. The first part from 0 to t by 4, the rest of the part from t by 4 to t by 2. We know that this is your t by 2 time period. So from 0 to t by 4 it is positive 10, and from t by 4 to t by 2 it is minus 10. So first integration over 0 to t by 4, value of x of t is 10 cos of n omega naught t dt, plus the second integral over t by 4 to t by 2, value of x of t is minus 10 cos of n omega naught t dt. Then an is equal to, in fact I can take this 10 out, it becomes 40 by t. So we are integrating from 0 to t by 4. What remains inside is only cos n omega naught t dt. I can take this negative sign out. What remains inside? It is t by 4 to t by 2 cos of n omega naught t dt. Is that right? Now I can write my an equal to, I'll keep 40 by t out. What remains inside? Now integration of cos is what? It is sine. So it is sine of n omega naught t divided by constant part is n omega naught, and lower limit is 0, upper limit is t by 4, minus, again integration of this cos is sine. It is sine of n omega naught t. We know that we are integrating with respect to time t, so coefficient n omega naught comes as denominator. Lower limit is t by 4, upper limit is t by 2. So here I have written the same as previous step. The only difference, the denominator was n omega naught t. Since it is constant, so I can take it out. So I have written that n omega naught t outside. Finally, an is equal to 40 upon n omega naught t. So it becomes sine of n omega naught. Instead of t, now I'll substitute upper limit, which is t by 4, minus sine of 0, because value of t is equal to 0. Ultimately, it is going to become sine 0 only. Then we have negative sign here. Let us put one bracket. Then sine of n omega naught, upper limit is t by 2, minus sine of n omega naught, lower limit is t by 4. We know that sine 0 is always 0. Then an is equal to 40 upon n omega naught t sine of n. I'm sure you remember omega naught is called as a fundamental frequency, and fundamental frequency omega naught is given as omega naught equal to 2 pi by capital T. I repeat, omega naught can be substituted as 2 pi by capital T. So now it is required to substitute omega naught as 2 pi by capital T, and then we have t by 4 here. Sine 0 is already 0. Let us not have the second part. We have negative sign here. Let us open up the bracket also. Then we have sine of, I'm talking about this term, sine of n. Then omega naught is 2 pi by capital T. We have t by 2 here. Then negative becomes positive. So we have sine of n. Omega naught is 2 pi by capital T. And we have t by 4 here also. So here t gets cancelled. 2 and 2 also gets cancelled. So in a way it becomes sine of n pi. We know that sine of n pi is always 0 for all values of n to be integer, and if you see Fourier series, the value of n are generally substituted from 1 to infinity, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on up to infinity. So every n is by default integer. Every time sine n pi will be 0 only. Again, this term we are not going to include. T and T gets cancelled. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. Same thing happens here also. Here capital T gets cancelled. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. What is remaining? Let me write it. An is equal to 40 upon. Now n I'll substitute as it is. Value of omega naught, let us substitute this as 2 pi by capital T. We already had T over here. Observe carefully. Our very first term has now become sine of n pi by 2. Also, this term, if you observe carefully, it is sine of n pi by 2, and the middle term is 0. So sine n pi by 2 plus sine n pi by 2 will become twice of sine n pi by 2. So now it becomes twice of sine n pi by 2. Here 2 and 2 gets cancelled, t gets cancelled. What is remaining, final an, let me write it. It is 40 upon n pi sine of n pi by 2. So let us study this an in detail now. So let me rewrite our an as 40 upon n pi. It is sine n pi by 2. You know that whenever you substitute this an in Fourier series, this n varies from 1 to infinity. That is, I keep on substituting this n value as 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 and so on. We go up to infinity. So we need to observe something. So before I really substitute this an inside Fourier series formula, let me see what is the effect of n on the value of an. So we'll get it what I said. Let us substitute n equal to 1. Then it becomes a1, which is 40 upon pi. It becomes sine of pi by 2 simply, because n value equal to 1. And sine pi by 2 is always plus 1. In a way, it becomes just 40 by pi. So value of a1 is 40 by pi. Let us substitute n equal to 2. Then becomes a2 equal to 40 upon 2 pi sine of, since value of n is equal to 2, so it becomes 2 pi by 2. So here 2 gets cancelled, and sine pi is always 0. It results a2 value equal to 0. Let us go for n equal to 3. a3 equal to 40 upon 3 pi, because value of n is equal to 3 now. Sine of 3 pi by 2. And sine of 3 pi by 2 is always minus 1. Therefore, now it becomes minus 40 upon 3 pi. Let us substitute n value equal to 4. After that, a4 becomes 40 upon 4 pi sine of 4 pi by 2, and sine of 4 pi by 2 is actually sine of 2 pi, and sine 2 pi is always 0, which results in a4 equal to 0. So every time the value of n is even, the component becomes 0. As you can see, for n equal to 2, value is 0. For n equal to 4, value is 0. But for n equal to 1, value is non-zero. For n equal to 3, value is non-zero. We can predict that for n equal to 5, n equal to 7, n equal to 9, every time value of n is odd, value does exist. Value of the coefficient is non-zero. But every time value of n comes to be even, then every time this coefficient becomes 0. So let me come to the conclusion. Only odd values of an are not equal to 0, and every even value of an is always 0. Is that right? So now we'll come to a very final conclusion. This final conclusion refers to the observation that we had throughout this problem. So a very first observation, that DC value equal to 0. So A0 became 0. This is nothing but your DC value. And second and very important conclusion, that an does exist only for odd values. See, whenever we say an does exist only for odd values, so we can indirectly say that only odd harmonics are present. I repeat, only odd harmonics are present, because if you remember, when we substitute this in Fourier series, the Fourier series would be x of t. So we know that now we need not to substitute a0, because a0 value is 0. Summation. Then we have an cos of n omega naught t. Is that right? But we know that an does exist only for odd values. An is always 0 for every even value. So what I can say, that value of n has to be varied as odd only. That is 1, 3, 5, 7, and we can go up to infinity. So what is our observation? This n omega naught I am talking about. We know that omega naught is called as a fundamental frequency, and n omega naught is called as nth harmonic. When I say that I have a compulsion that n has to be only odd value, what does that mean? This n omega naught will be always the odd harmonics. Is that right? So this is a very, very important conclusion. The figure 1 that you have seen, which was an even signal for which A0 has become 0. I don't say that every time signal is even, A0 will be 0. Please understand, this is particularly I'm talking about the example that we are looking after, which I have named it as figure 1. And as I said, that I'll keep on referencing the same figure throughout our Fourier series. Every time I say figure 1, I'm talking about this problem only. That is, this problem I'll always refer to as figure number 1 throughout our Fourier series analysis. For this, we have got two very, very important conclusion. A very first conclusion is that DC value is equal to 0, and second, a very important conclusion, that only odd harmonics are present. With these two observations or so-called conclusions, I'll be coming to a very, very important result in next to next video lecture. But then, just for the sake of having these observations, just write it in your notebook if you're noting it down. From figure number 1, DC value equal to always 0, only odd harmonics are present. And third observation, that the value of an is 40 upon n pi. So what is so great that an is equal to 40 upon n pi? In fact, it was not just 40 upon n pi, it was 40 upon n pi into sine n pi by 2. So let me just correct it. So value of an that I got was 40 upon n pi sine n pi by 2. The reason why it is 40 n pi, listen to me very carefully what I am saying. The reason why it is 40 upon n pi, because the amplitude is 10. So it is 40, meaning that I need to remember it in a generalized way. Since the amplitude is 10, it is 40 in the numerator. If the amplitude is a in general, then an would be 4a upon n pi sine n pi by 2. So in general, I can say every time I see this figure, that is a square wave, even in nature, the value of an will be always 4a upon n pi sine n pi by 2. In this case, your value of a is equal to 10. That is the positive amplitude as well as negative amplitude. Magnitude wise, a is equal to 10. In that case, an will become 40 upon n pi sine n pi by 2. In general, you have to remember it like this. 4a upon n pi would be a magnitude. So these are general observations we have. As I said, why I have concluded this, it may not be clear in this video lecture. But as I said, in next to next video lecture, I'm going to summarize this conclusion and I'm then come to the another important conclusion, something called as a half wave symmetry. But yes, we have some time to discuss about half wave symmetry. Let us not get confused over here. What is important for this video lecture is that we have understood this example. We have understood the given x of t signal was even signal for which bn value equal to 0. A naught an, by using symmetry formulas, we have calculated. Eventually, a naught has become 0. As I said, every time signal is even does not mean a naught equal to 0. It is just a coincidence, I can say. So DC value we got equal to 0. And second observation that we got, an value is non-zero, but every time the value of n becomes even, an is always 0. So an exists only for n being odd, right? So I can say that DC value equal to 0 and only odd harmonics are present, okay? And the value of an in general, it is 4a upon n pi sine n pi by 2, where a is the amplitude of given x of t signal. That is a square wave signal. Every time it is a square wave, then only I can generalize it as 4a upon n pi. If it becomes a triangular wave, I cannot say that it would be 4a upon n pi. It would be something else.